operate as, maximize profit. If there's a
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, it's not, hey, let's do what's best for society. It's let's how can we profit the most out of this? How can we let's sell people masks and vaccines and medicines and whatever. We're not going to nationalize production of medicine during a pandemic or build new hospitals that we aren't going to be able to profit from. I think that's kind of where the private sector is at this point. And it's not any one person, it's the system.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrifying, but it
No
feels
doubt.
almost like we're getting to the breaking point to where a lot of people say late stage capitalism or whatever, to where there's just the people are backed into a corner and there's no other options at this point. And I think
Literally, to my
you know
knowledge, the largest wealth gap in history in the world. Like we have this society that's set up to work only for the few, and that does push people to their breaking point.
yeah, I believe if I'm not mistaken, I believe the wealth inequality gap is similar to that of the wealth inequality gap right about the time of the French Revolution. So I mean, take from
You'd be
that what you
correct.
want, but you know
Yeah, no implication there at all, right? Um, yeah, no, I do. I think there is, I tend to be perhaps overly cynical in how I view politics, and I think a lot of us do because our system almost seems to be designed to obstruct in many ways. Um, and that can make people very hardened and cynical. But I do think we need to keep our heads up and continue fighting, and I think that we are making progress in many different ways. Um, do you think, to pivot a little bit to the way that the media impacts this? um do you, like, I find some hope in the notions that, like, cable news, for instance, their ratings are tanking. People aren't watching them anymore, and I think there's a generational gap there where people are turning to independent media, whether that's organizations like us or articles written by independent journalists and commentators and things. um, Even to the extent that some of those people are, in my view, perpetuating pretty horrendous views in politics. I would much rather the independent environment than one where the financial incentive is built in to be anti-leftist and anti socialism and communism and all these philosophies. Do you think that that transition is going to sort of propel the kind of changes that you and I may want?
it could, and I believe that should be the key. This